Hello everyone, good afternoon. I'm Steve. I'm an IELTS, OET and PT trainer from UCAN English Tutoring, one of the leading institutions based in Sydney, Australia. In today's video, I'm going to assess one of the letters that was written by my student. We are going to have a look at this letter, and then I will be able to provide you the word-by-word feedback plus assessment and the expected score. She has written down the community nurse, that's good. And this is the address of the addressee. So she has done a good job. And after that, she has written down the date of the letter, that is also good. Dear community nurse, and then comma, that's good. So she can use, either dear community nurse or she can use sir or madam. So both of them are good to go. So you can use either this or that, okay? And then regarding Mr. George Brown, aged 73. She has written down the reference details of the patient. That's good as well. And then she has written down the introduction paragraph. Let's go through the introduction paragraph first. She has written down that she's going to transfer, Mr. Brown into your facility. All right. And then she has also mentioned for what purpose. It is for the ongoing care and further management. Okay. Whenever you would like to transfer or refer or something. Okay, if it is a center, for example, a facility, a healthcare center, a hospital, or an aged care, you can use only to. For example, I am writing to transfer Mr. Brown to your facility. All right, but if you need to write down the transfer letter or the referral letter or the discharge letter to someone, then you have to use into. For example, I'm writing to transfer Mr. Brown back into your care for ongoing and further management or ongoing management. Okay, so that's the best way to deal with. So in this case, this is a mistake. All right. One of the other things she has done is she hasn't included what the major problem that is faced by Mr. Brown. Okay, so the problem, the current problem or the recent surgery or concern of the patient is not mentioned in the introduction paragraph. So it's not good. We must include 4 things, okay, as you all know. Okay, all right. Let's go to the first supporting paragraph. Mr. Brown suffered from multiple sclerosis, and then, sorry. Okay, so in this case, whenever you use Mr. Brown, it is a third-party singular noun. For example, he, she, and it. In this case, Mr. Brown falls under he. So he always need a verb plus yes in the present tense. So she must use suffers. Okay, but again, suffers is an informal phrase. It's an informal word, and it's not a good idea to use this. So what you can do is you can use experiences. Okay, that would be more appropriate. This is more formal. So you can say experiences. Okay, so instead of writing down, yeah, you can use experiences. Okay, so he experiences, and then you have to write down. This is more formal. Okay, so he experiences, and then from can be removed. Okay, from can be removed. Remove this. Remember that. Okay, so for the third party singular nouns, you must use verb plus s only. You can't use verb. That is wrong. For example, if you say Mr. Brown suffer from something, Mr. Brown go to somewhere, Mr. Brown receive something. Okay, these things are incorrect. You have to say Mr. Brown receives, Mr. Brown suffers from, Mr. Brown experiences, and things like that. Okay, that's the correct way. So he experiences multiple sclerosis, and then type 2 diabetes and chronic left and right leg ulcers filled with the pus. Okay, pus plus. She has mentioned pus plus. Okay, that's wrong. It's only pus. All right. She doesn't need to use pus. All right. And then the other mistake is that she must have used filled up with. So filled is incorrect. So she would have mentioned, filled in with, okay? Filled in with or filled up with. That's the correct way of writing down the sentence. All right, let's go to the next one. Then he moved to, as I already mentioned, this student has committed the same mistake. You need to use he moves to, okay? Remember that he, she, it, that is a third party singular noun, always need verb plus s. All right, let's go to the next one. He moves to Marobra. Marobra is the location, and as a result, you need to use the capital letter for the first letter of the name of this location. So it should be Marobra. So that's the correct answer. See, using the singular and using the small and capital letters is really important as far as the assessment criteria is concerned. He moves to Marobra for equivalent housing with the multiple sclerosis access and treatment. Okay, equivalent housing. All right. He could have used, he could have used like similar housing for multiple sclerosis access and treatment. So instead of that, he should have made, she should have used for access and treatment for multiple sclerosis. Okay, I mean it could have been access for multiple sclerosis and its treatment. So this could have been much better. All right, so you should have used this one. All right, let's go to the next one. His financial condition no good. That's wrong. This is no good. Okay, his financial condition is not good. Is not good. So she should have mentioned no good. No, is not good. All right, that's the correct way of writing down this particular sentence. All right, let's go to the next one. His multiple sclerosis currently is stable. Okay, so what she must have mentioned, she might have used is currently stable. So she needs to add this one. Is currently stable, but frequent relapses. That's wrong. I don't know why she has written on this, but you must have, but she has frequent relapses. Okay, that would be much better. Otherwise, she could have mentioned his multiple sclerosis is currently stable, but she has relapses. Okay, like otherwise, although his multiple sclerosis is currently stable, he faces frequent relapses. That's also good. He experiences. That's also good. So sorry, it must be he. It's not she. We should not be. We shouldn't change the gender of the patient. It is one of the common mistakes many students commit. So you need to be very careful. You have to use the appropriate personal pronouns. Okay. Frequent relapses. We have Staphylococcus aureus infection. 2 to 3. Okay. So please expand this case notes. You have to always expand the case notes in your answer. You can't just use the same abbreviations in your letter as well. You can't do that. It's not good. And she mentioned it socially. Mr. Brown lives alone in public housing in Orange. He was lonely and isolated due to poor contact with his son. He was lonely and isolated. Okay, so I hope this is the ongoing condition. This is a present thing. So you should have mentioned he's lonely and isolated. That's the correct way of writing down the sentence. All right, so the next one is prognosis. He has been commenced. Okay, so this one is incorrect. You can't use this. This is wrong. Okay. You must have mentioned something like, these are the, treatment, isn't it? So you should have mentioned in terms of Mr. what's the name? Yeah, it's Brown's, right? Yeah, Mr. Brown's treatment. Okay, it's in terms of Mr. Brown's treatments, comma, and then you should have written down, the remaining sentences. Okay, this would be much better. Okay, he has been commenced on IV antibiotic. It's better to use, expand the words fully. So it's intravenous antibiotics. It's better to write down, the full words. It's not recommended to write down the abbreviations. Please do not do it. Daily and diabetic for which, okay, she has been commenced on, and diabetic for which he takes, for which he takes. Okay, so you need to add this one. Add this one with this particular sentence. And unfortunately, um, she hasn't written down correctly. It's a diabetic. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. The whole sentence need to be rewritten. Okay, takes vitamin 3 times a day, 3 times per day. Daily dressing left and right leg. Okay, daily dressing has been performed on. Okay, both. So you should add this. Daily dressing has been performed on both. So she didn't write this at all. She must have included on both right and left legs. Instead of writing both right and left legs, he might have mentioned in both of his legs, in both legs, or in his legs, on his legs. It would have been much easier, okay, on his legs, on both legs, okay. That would be much easier. So instead of writing, right and left, or left and right, it's better to use on both legs. That's simple, okay. 2 times. It's not 2 times, but it is 2 times. Okay, you need to be able to use only the plural nouns whenever there are plural numbers. Okay, if it is 2 or 3 or 4, you must be able to use only the the plural nouns. 2 times. Kindly monitor his blood level. Okay, monitored is the past tense, so this one is incorrect. So you should use monitor. Okay, kindly monitor his blood glucose level. Okay, kindly monitored is incorrect. All right. Okay, let's go to the next one. His blood glucose level and gave education. Okay, so you used a gave, but it should be provide. Okay, and educate. Okay, so that would be much better. Gave is the past tense, so you shouldn't have used the past verb here. You are going to request all the services to the addressee in order to support the patient. So you should have used the present tense here. So please provide education regarding. So it's not reading, but it's regarding. Right, regarding. Regarding doesn't need to. It only in regards to. So if you write in regards to, then you have to use to. But if you write only regarding, then you just need to write down regarding. It doesn't need any preposition. So regarding to medication. So this needs to be removed. Okay, you need to remove this particular phrase. Preposition needs to be removed. All right. Let's go to the next one. Diet. Please note that consistently. So you should have, you should have used and here. And then you should have written down the next sentence. The sentences you're writing are clumsy. We couldn't find out, we couldn't follow your letter. It's not good at all. No. You should have placed a full stop here. Place a full stop here. And start a new sentence. You should have done this, but you didn't do that. So it's really bad as well. So remember that these are the things that you have to focus on. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. Please note that constantly monitor signs. No, this is wrong. You can't use please note that and then constantly monitor. It's not. Okay, so what you could have done is that you should have written down like this. Okay, the signs for relapses are required to be monitored monitored consistently. That's the best way of writing it. Okay, because it's always better to write down the what do you say 1 minute. So Yeah, it's always better to use the passive voice instead of writing down the active voice. Okay, so it's better to write down this way. Okay, right. Stop his antibiotic and continue diabetic medications and dressing. Okay, this is not good. You can't just order them. You are saying, you are asking them to stop his antibiotic and then continue diabetes. This is wrong. Okay, so you have to use polite language. You have to use, you request them politely. You have to say, could you please cease his antibiotic medications and continue diabetic medications. Okay, otherwise you can use even the passive voice as well. You can say, for example, you can say his antibiotic medications and are required to be seized, whereas the diabetic medications need to be continued or something. That's what we can do, and that's how she should have written down, but she didn't. Okay, Mr. Brown referred to something. This is also incorrect. Okay, Mr. Brown is referred to, and then Prince of Wales diabetics or whatever it is. Okay, so that's correct. And what's the next one? Clinic for review medications and education. Therefore, referral to neurologist for SMS follow. She has been writing down incomplete sentences as far as the grammar is concerned. So this is an incomplete sentence, and she needs to, which needs to be written down again, which needs to be rewritten. Okay. Remember, guys, you should be able to use only the complete sentences. If you want to achieve a higher grade, such as B grade or A grade in the writing section, you need to always ensure that you write down the complete sentences. You don't write down the incomplete sentences. Okay. Community support, increased coping, and social networks. Again, I don't know. I mean, the problem is that with this letter, she has been committing so many grammatical mistakes, and the ideas, the case notes are scattered throughout the letter. It's not that good. So this sentence also needs to be rewritten down. So she needs to rewrite this sentence as well. Okay, that's what she has to do. But trust me, I will not be surprised to see these kinds of mistakes, because there are many students who commit similar kinds of mistakes, and I'm already sick and tired of these kinds of mistakes anyway. All right, let's go through this one. So the next one is, should you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. All right, and then yours sincerely, registered nurse. All right. Okay, let me go through the feedback now. As I already went through the word by word feedback, you should be able to identify what kinds of mistakes she has committed. Grammar is one of the major areas. Okay, it is one of the most important areas you need to focus on. It's very bad. Okay, so you have committed so many grammatical mistakes. Use of punctuation marks, particularly use of punctuation marks, articles, prepositions, nouns, tenses, and verbs needs to be improved. Needs to be improved a lot. Okay, so you need to go through all these things and then appropriately correct those mistakes. Okay, you have included the relevant case notes, but they are scattered everywhere in the letter. So you were not able to organize them properly. So you should have been able to organize them more accurately. This is not really good. Use of connecting phrases could have been better. Vocabulary could have been better as well. Another issue with this letter is that you have used mainly the simple sentences. I can rarely see the complex and compound sentences. This is okay if you're aiming at only C grade, but if you're aiming at B grade, you need to show a range of sentence structures. You must be able to control the language, okay, and the grammatical structures. So this is not good. You haven't used the capital and small letters. That's another issue, okay. Overall task fulfillment isn't that good. It could have been improved. So overall task fulfillment could have been better. All right. Okay, so you should have expanded all the abbreviations as well. Okay, let's go to the expected scores. To me, this one sounds like perhaps this letter is able to achieve perhaps 230 out of 500. Okay, good luck with your next letter. If you guys have any questions, if you have any problems with your writing, if you don't know how to organize the case notes, if you don't know how to provide a range of sentences in your letter, if you don't know how to find out the relevant case notes in your letter, you can approach me. I can be contacted on my mobile number or WhatsApp number, that is +61 468 480 877, or you can send an email to me to steve@ucanenglishtutoring.com. I can also be reached at www.facebook.com/ucantutoring. Okay, so let me know if you have any issues, and I'm glad to assess your first letter at free of cost. I have already been helping more than 12,000 students till now, so you should be able to pass the examination if you receive accurate assessment from me and reduce the mistakes next time. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please do share it and like it. The reason is that if you like and share, it is gonna help others also to identify their mistakes and can transform their life as well. Also, please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much and have a good day. I'll see you shortly with another video.